Hey, afternoon, guys. This is Philip Pandy. We are talking about week two discussion. Um, let's take two. We were talking about differential learning with um, in regards to summative and formative, and examples of how it could be a bias or not biased. What I came down to understand is that for formative, we want to know what they already know, what their base is. Um, Knowing their base is pretty much doing the tests before the teaching. So I, for example, want to go into junior high science, sixth, seventh, eighth. Put me in an intermediate school. Let's call it a day. Um, so pretty much I want to know where they're coming from and what they're doing and where they're what they understand. And then the summative is pretty much the expectation that they understand based on the state. Um, so the California Department of Education. So with that, how it can be skewed, or the problem that we have is that not everyone has the same knowledge and the same base, and it's based on the community for which the children are learning. So, for example, I live in Chino Hills. I didn't go to school here. My siblings did, but I'm aware the neighborhood is fairly well. So they have different resources. Most kids bilingual in some Asian tongue and English, a few Spanish and English. But at the end of the day, it's not so much a downfall in regards to their base knowledge. They're well versed compared to where I went to school in La Puente, West Covina area, and at that point in time, the income was a little bit lower, and a lot more people that were bilingual could speak Spanish and English, but may not be able to read either one way or the other. Um, so these assessments um, can be biased because it's expecting everyone to be on the same playing field. With it being on that same playing field, we're expecting immigrants to be where they are. We're expecting people in low income whose vocabulary isn't at the same level as someone whose parents have both graduated from college, university, heck, even high school. And at that point in time, we're holding everyone on the same level of expectation. That is a serious problem that we have with expectations. The differential learning is supposed to, in my view, when I do get my classroom, it's supposed to let me know what my kids are supposed to know on the chapter at the end, and I'm breaking it down by the section to find out where they are, so that way I can spend a little bit more time going over that information and get them to understand the vocabulary words that they're expected to know and actually understand it as well. Um, and then at the end, the summative should be the collection of all the information that I've taught throughout the section that they should be able to understand based on their grade level and the expectation of California Department of Education. So with that, I believe I answered the question, which is there a bias? Yes, there is a bias because not every child has the same beginning and upbringing, let alone the knowledge behind what from the previous class to support the new information that's being supported or being taught. And the summative information is the sole expectation that everyone's on the same field of knowledge and education. And it may take more than just a week or two to go through a section to get the kids there. They might not even get there because they still are having a problem with putting one and one together to make two. And so I think that that's definitely an issue that we have here in the state of California, across actually the nation. I mean, at the end of the day, we're expecting everyone to be on the same level. However, all their upbringing and backgrounds are not the same. And because they lack that same starting point, You can't expect them all to end at the same level. You can probably get them to reach there, but that's about it. So I do believe I've caught up on everything. I've answered is it if there's a bias for it, formative, summative. So formative is just finding out what they know already and what I need to teach them extra to get them on the level that they need to. So that way, at the summative part, which is the end result, make sure that they're there. The differential learning is obviously going to be based on the environment and me adjusting tests to help relate it to the environment, as well as to if I have any special needs kids, 504s, IEPs, making that adjustment as well in regards to time frame needed, changing how they will actually learn and go from there. And at the end, yes, I do believe that the assessments are skewed and have some form of bias only because we're expecting everyone to be on the same level. And unfortunately, anyone can have a child, but supplying them with all that they need is not always feasible. Thank you for your time, and I look forward to talking to you for the rest of the week.